Welcome to my new studio setup. I know it doesn't really look that much different than before, but I've changed a few things around to make the lighting look a lot better. And overall in today's video, I just want to show you some budget-friendly ways on how to build your own in-home studio, because it looks like 2021 is gonna be a stay-at-home type of year too. So let's show you how to build your own budget-friendly studio. So right now we're basically just right outside of my studio. I know from this angle it looks like I have a lot of different stuff, but when you're building your own in-home studio, there's only a few things that you need. And knowing me and how many lights I've reviewed, there's gonna be a certain amount of lights and only one particular brand that I really depend on to actually control my key and overall my accent lighting. Now the angles in this video are gonna be a little bit up close and awkward, but that's because I'm running low on space here with different lighting and camera gear just all over the place. But anyway, I wanna talk to you about the SL60W light from Godox. This is a light that I constantly preach to people who watch my videos because this thing is only about $100, especially now since all the holiday deals are going on. And this is a 60-watt output light. All of my YouTube videos that were shot in 2020 were lit up by the SL60W being the key. Now the only new addition that I have to the studio is this giant softbox, which surprisingly is relatively cheap to all the competitors out there such as Aperture. This is a massive softbox. This is actually one of the largest softboxes that you can have for your studio. And why do you need such a large softbox? Well, it creates a beautiful soft light. And if you want to see my review video on this giant softbox and you want to see how it works, check out this video right here. But this is my ultimate key light setup. I also have this sturdy light stand. It's a stainless steel light stand. It costs about 40 bucks. And this is something that you definitely need if you're going to be mounting such a massive softbox, because this softbox weighs more than the light itself. Now the actual camera I'm using is kind of expensive, but it really doesn't matter. This is subjective to whatever camera that you want to get, but you can easily find, like, let's say a Sony a7 III for less than $1,000 used on eBay. And that alone is a very powerful camera. And I'm sure there's a lot of other options from different brands if you prefer, let's say Nikon or Canon. But just so you know, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on a camera, okay? That's not necessary. I would rather spend more money on lighting and lenses rather than the camera body. But anyway, we have a little slider here. Again, costs about $100 or so. But what this slider allows me to do is, obviously it slides from left to right, but whenever I want to adjust the camera position, instead of moving my whole entire tripod over, I can just simply slide the camera over, and that makes for a much easier setup. The tripod is also pretty expensive, but I actually stole my cheap tripod and I'm using it on my Sony a7S that's shooting me right now. And that tripod is about $100. It's actually even cheaper. I think it's even $60. I'll leave all the links down below with the accurate pricing, but you don't need such an expensive tripod when you're filming yourself. Something cheap but sturdy. You could even pay maybe $25, $30. But as long as it props up your camera, levels it out, and is sturdy and reliable, that's a good enough tripod for you to use. Now, when it comes down to lenses, you don't want to spend too much money, but you definitely don't want to spend too little money. You want something in between. And the Zeiss F4 lenses are a great option for Sony users that have a tight budget, because these are the lenses that I bought with my own money. And I remember when I had to be on a very, very tight budget, the Zeiss definitely fit within my price range, and I still use it to this day. Now let's talk about shelves. Don't focus on the gear that's on the shelves, focus more about the shelves themselves, because they will keep you organized. And before I got these shelves, I actually had batteries and memory cards all over the floor, and I stepped on them constantly. I broke a few batteries and I actually hurt my ankle and my foot. So definitely consider getting shelves. These shelves from IKEA, I actually just got these shelves a few days ago. These shelves are about $60 at IKEA. You can easily pick them up. They're easy to install. They're pretty sturdy. And as you can see, they have quite a bit of weight on them. These gimbals are not that light. So whenever you want to grab a quick shot of something where you need a specific piece of equipment, you go right to your shelves, here they are, and boom, you become much more efficient. All right, so welcome to my desk. I want to show you a POV version of what everything looks like from my point of view. So Sony A9 with the Zeiss 24-70, and then I have the Sony a7S III 24-70 art. Again, don't focus on the camera and the lenses if you're on a budget. Focus more on the best deals that you can get, because that's what's going to be important for the upcoming year. So if you're working from home and you're doing a lot of client work via teleconferencing, or you're just not going to the office but you're doing a lot of like content creation, you need something that will work for you at home. So again, that's why I'm doing this video for you guys. Anyway, this is what I am looking at constantly. So see, my desk is still kind of a messy little area, but it's a lot cleaner than what it used to be. This is a standing desk. I constantly use this thing for unboxing videos. The overall look of this laminate table just looks fantastic. It has like this wooden finish. And I did a review of a Flexi Spot standing desk, which cost less than 300 bucks. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out, man. You're missing out. A standing desk will make you more efficient. It will keep you from getting tired so easily, and it's just a great way of getting work done. And by the way, this is the massive softbox that I was talking to you about earlier. You see this beautiful soft light? You can easily see that on the table here. And then here's my monitor that I constantly look at as a reference. So this is a Portkeys Monitor. You can find a 7-inch monitor for like 100 bucks, but I strongly recommend that you get one. And this monitor will take a few Sony MPF style batteries, which is a must-have. These batteries are used on almost every single piece of equipment. And also, they're very, very cheap, so pick them up. And next, we have the Hollyland Lark 150. These are wireless microphones. I actually just reviewed them. I'm sorry for my bandaged thumb. It was a bread cutting accident. I don't have to go into that, do I? But anyway, great little set of microphones. It's a 2 transmitter, 1 receiver setup. Let's see if I can open this. And I'm actually using those mics right now, which is why you don't see it in the box, but there was one right there. Check out the review I did for that, because I think this is so far the best microphone set that you can get. Now the last thing I want to talk about are the little accent lights that I'm using. Some of them are not that budget friendly, but don't worry, I'm going to put links in the description of alternatives that are much cheaper and get the job done just as well. So first things first, we have the overhead light, which is right up here. This is an RGB tube light. It's waterproof. It's from a company called Digital Photo. It's a 4-foot tube, definitely overkill for just an overhead light. But as you can see right here, let me go ahead and turn off the tube light. I'll show you what it does. All right, let me just move that right there. Check it out. It comes with a remote too. You see that? We lose a lot of detail on my shirt and on the wall behind me. So I like to have that extra little kick. You can get away with like a 2-foot tube, or you can even buy like a little square RGB LED panel. It's a good thing to have an RGB light, because you can change the colors and really play around with how you want your video to look like. And here we have another RGB light. This is also from a company called Digital Photo. This one's about 120, 130 bucks if I'm not mistaken. Very cheap light, powerful. It's 2 feet. It's actually called an RGB wand, and it's pretty darn cool. So I recommend it. I reviewed it as well, so check out that review, but it does a great job of creating that edge light that I want on my body. And last but not least, we have another accent light. This is the Godox SL150W Mark II. I also reviewed it, but again, very overkill for just hitting the wall with a little splash of light. I would strongly recommend getting another cheap LED panel that you can get for maybe 30, 40 bucks. So you can actually use one of these little LED lights to bounce off the wall. They're tiny and they're so cheap, and you can find them anywhere on Amazon or B&H. I'll even link a few down in the description box below, and they're actually RGB as well. And they even have a little cold shoe mount at the bottom. And last but not least, guys, I do want to talk about the roll-up green screen that I always keep behind me, because sometimes I do product photography and product videography, and I want the ability to just have a green screen so I can easily key out the background without having to worry about it. So, and this green screen just rolls right up, as you can see. Sorry for my thumb again, but it's a great little solution to have right behind you. And yeah, it makes you more efficient, and you can get a lot more different shots that way as well. So that just about does it for my studio. It's very simple. You know, the lighting is basically the most important part. Maybe the lighting and the tripod. You can even be shooting on your iPhone and it doesn't really matter. But if you have the proper lighting and if you have the proper tripod, you have yourself a little home filmmaking studio. So if you want to know where I got the specific equipment that I'm using in today's video, check out the links down below. Let me know if you have any questions. I just want you guys to have a good start to 2021. Prepare yourselves because we are going to be spending more time at home. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Peace.